It's 58,000 tons. So we know the return and we'll measure the number of ships that have been used to export the iron ore. How do you measure, or how do you get to know how much is supposed to be paid? Do you have way bridges?
The people of Kajiado are not even asking a cent from the mineral from their land. We are simply just charging the space without even charging the minerals. If we go your way, these people will owe us trillions because they have been taking this mineral for years. You know, they came there in 1909 to date. So your question is valid, but that is even not where we are. We're only charging a rate per acre. So we are only looking at the land and say you have this number of acreage, this is how it is rated, just straight multiplication.
Maybe just for advice, I sit in the Lands, Environment and Natural Resources Committee. You can bring a petition, just a statement on royalties, which will deal with CS for mining and treasury at the Lands Committee, if you can bring it.
Yeah, it can be processed there. Even this committee, Suomoto, can pursue it because it's a significant fiduciary risk for one person to owe 10 billion. And that was as at that time. I'm sure it keeps growing. And if you went the royalty way, then it would appear that Kajiado could then be one of the few counties that can sustain itself from on-source revenue. Because if you took the park, you took the Magadi, and just ensured you close all the leakages, you'd probably be above the 6 billion that
100%,
CRA is talking
probably
about.
That's what CRA is saying, 6 billion, which is more. But I agree with you that from those two natural resources, the county should ideally be able to collect substantial amount of revenues to support the development agenda. So I again once more bring to the attention of the Senate that this is a matter of national interest of rogue investors. Thank you.
Senator?
Yeah, I think, Chair, it is very important to note that even the loyalties, the county has no, they are not aware of how they calculate what's due for them to the 20% that they do. So it is the national government to discuss, agree with the company, and then they say, this financial year, we have paid national government this much, which is a total of this, which 20%, the county now will get it. So I think it is also important that the county comes in, because I'm very sure they are taking a lot of money out of the county, rather than even national. We depend on the national government to give us the figures. So I think it is true that the county will even get more money than what they are receiving here.
County Attorney, the governor says there's something before the courts. Can you tell us what exactly is before the courts, so that whatever is still before the court for determination, we don't venture into, because this is a matter that warrants an inquiry by the Senate?
Thank you, Chair. And I think for me, we have 4 matters that involve us and Magadi. One is a major issue of discussion. That is the matter which is a 2019 matter, petition number 1 of 2019. In that matter, Chair, the county won at the High Court. And that is the main matter. And the piece of legislation in discussion is the 2014 Finance Act. It's the first Finance Act that was done by the county government. The acreage is around 234,000, so times the value of each acre, and as per the Rating Act and the Finance Act, I think they owed the county 17 billion at that point. The court made a determination that you go for arbitration before the CS mining, because there is an issue of the lake, which falls under the Mining Act. And they walked out of the proceedings in the arbitration and went to the Court of Appeal. We later, because of the court documents, revised the claim, removed the railway line, because the railway line has a different title deed. We also removed the lake because the map had the acreage. The remaining part, we subjected them into the Rating Act and came up with a figure of around 11 billion. So in that, Chair, the Court of Appeal is set to rule today on Magadi. It has been...
As we speak today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Today is 24th, right?
So what are the matters that we expect them to?
The matters that we are supposed, first of all, the High Court.
Yeah.
The High Court held that the Finance Act is legal in nature and that they should pay, minus the areas of the lake and all that. The other issue was the rates. They are payable to us. However, the arbitration part is what they didn't want the CS to deal with. So the court will actually rule out on this matter in finality. That is the first matter which we have with Magadi. The other matter we have filed is to recover this outstanding rates. We took another matter to court based on the next Finance Act, which was 2020 and 2023. Every time we go to court, they bring the issue of the Court of Appeal case to block us from recovering the rates. The other issue is on the title, the lease document, that we actually doubt how it was renewed, because it was renewed 10 years before expiry. So that is the issue.
Okay, so members, if we are expecting some decisions from the courts today, we don't need to get into details or give any recommendations or directives, except that this is a matter that is significant enough for the Senate to conduct an inquiry, and will be informed by the decisions that will be coming from the courts. Fine, so I think we have very limited time remaining. Let's go back now to the issue of pending bills. What was your concern? There was
maybe sorry. I thought you should say we should cease of this matter of Magadi Suamoto.
Yes,
so
yes,
that you direct the secretariat
so.
to include in our ongoing investigation.
Yeah, because I think also, to be fair to Magadi, we have made statements here, including calling them rogue.
Yes.
It would be the rules of natural justice would demand that they also get an opportunity to be heard on the matter.
And I hope they will not work out the way they worked out in arbitration. I hope they will stay long enough.
Okay, so yes, County Attorney? Give him a mic.
And also, as the county attorney is responding, do you have a community development agreement committee for Magadi? SIDAC?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last bit.
Do you have a community development agreement committee for Magadi with the county?
No, the CDA is not in place, so they are in total contravention of the Mining Act.
Okay, what did you want to say?
I wanted to mention that, one, just to be very clear on this issue that is before the Court of Appeal. They don't have stay, so there is no sub judice if the Senate will take it to a moto.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to pending bills. Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Non-disclosure of pending bills. Annex 2 to the financial statements reflects nil pending accounts payables. However, prior year disclosure under Annex 2 reflects a balance of Kenya shillings. Page 3. Page 3 of the report.
Yes, proceed. It's under other matter. Okay.
Non-disclosure of pending bills. Annex 2 to the financial statements reflects nil pending accounts payables. However, prior year disclosure under Annex 2 reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 1,197,584,070, resulting in non-disclosure of pending accounts payables. In addition, review of the report on the status of the county pending bills reveals that the county had pending bills totaling to Kenya shillings 2,290,313,208, which comprise of development and recurrent expenditure of Kenya shillings 1,531,450,134 and Kenya shillings 758,863,074 respectively. Management has not amended the financial statements to reflect the pending payables in the annexes. Failure to settle bills during the year to which they relate distorts the financial statements and adversely affects the budgetary provisions for the subsequent year as they form the first charge. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, we had a recommendation there which was fairly detailed, so
Yes.
we'll read it.
The management wished to mention that by the time of preparing the financial statements for the financial year 2023-2024, which was submitted to the the auditor by 30th of September 2024, our pending bills report was still being analyzed and reviewed by pending bills committee. The pending bills report has since been finalized and submitted to the relevant authorities, including Control of Budgets and Office of the Auditor General, and we have attached Annex 3 to that effect. The management has taken note that this non-disclosure and the same will be rectified subsequently by disclosing the financial statements as recommended by the Auditor General and as guided by the financial statements reporting template. What Chair, we are saying here is that as at the time when the audits were going on, our audit committee had not completed their work. That is why we did not make the disclosure, but we have since made for the forthcoming audit that is ongoing in the county. I submit, Mr. Chairman.
Auditor General, is disclosure of pending bills a suggestion or it is a requirement?
Chair, it's a requirement.
Governor, what do you say to that? Because you treated it as if it was just a suggestion. You owe people money. In the financial statements, it is not clear how much you owe. That cannot be a financial statement that represents a true and fair picture of the entity when the debts are not disclosed.
Chair, I agree with you. However, I'm saying at the time of reporting, our pending bills committee was still doing their work. So that not to do or not to report incorrectly, we allowed them to do their work, and that has since happened. We have since, in the forthcoming accounts, made the full disclosure of the pending bills, Mr. Chairman.
Who's the accountant between the two people on your left and right?
The accountant is Majakusi.
Majakuzi?
Yes.
Disclosure of pending bills, is it a suggestion or it is an important requirement?
It is an important requirement.
So?
Well, Chair, as the Governor has said...
Even on the excuses, you are a ISPAC member.
Yes.
So what is your professional responsibility when it comes to reporting?
Full disclosure.
Was this full disclosure in the absence of accounts payable?
It wasn't, and the reason is any disclosure...
When you go to excuses, you agree it was not...
It wasn't, yes, I agree.
Remember, Governor, that this is not the only county you are dealing with. There are 46 other counties. None of them has ever brought that kind of excuse. Because even though there is a verification going on, there you can take a view on what has been verified, or what is, we call them eligible. Yeah, what's the word that they've been using? Ineligible and eligible. What your accountants ought to have done as a minimum, because you cannot say that the entire year you didn't know who you owed money. Because in that year, you are contracting services, isn't it? So even for the ones contracted in that year, you didn't know, you could not disclose them. This is professional negligence. Before we get into the other associated criminal offenses as per the law. I mean, this is the first county that has told us that they could not disclose their pending bills. You are the first one. Your other 46 colleagues, even though they are going through verification, at least their finance people are able to present a listing of what is verifiable. And then again, Governor, this was your 7th year in office. Why would you have that kind of problem that after 7 years, your people cannot tell you with authority that these are the people we owe? What is the problem?
Chairman, I agree with you that there is a professional negligence on this, and there is administrative action that needs to be taken. And so I concur that it is a matter requiring administration action, which I will take. And so I want to confirm that in the previous years there were disclosures to that effect, and now we have made the changes to reflect that. But I wish to agree that it is unacceptable.
Part of our recommendation was a payment plan to be submitted to the control of budget. And I'm looking at the schedule you have provided. The first entry is a classroom at Sumeria Primary School, a contract of 2014-2015 of 1.49 million. What we are interested in is, what is your plan to settle those pending bills? Because your senator and the rest of us have already passed money to go to the county. Why are you not using that money to pay these things from 2014, 2015? Because I'm assuming that what you have here is what is now verified. So what's a payment plan? What's a plan? We need to hear how this number is moving. We need to hear that out of your 2 billion, you have now paid probably 1 billion. And whatever is remaining, this is a plan for settlement. I think that's a solution we want to get from here, beyond what we have said about professional responsibility. Now let's go to the solution.
Chair, the reported previous year pending bills were fully captured in our accounting. And we have, as a county government, in the previous year and even this year, provided a substantial amount of money to make sure that we clear for these pending bills. We know that this is an important obligation to the county government, and as part of our budgeting process, we have provided a substantial amount to pay the pending bills. Chair, we continue to work to enhance our own source revenue so that we increase resources coming to the county to be able to pay for our pending bills. And so, Chair and committee, we have provided resources to continuously minimize our pending bills and to ensure that subsequently we collect sufficient resources so that we do not incur additional pending bills from the previous that have been now.
But Governor, if you would have read our recommendation, then you would have seen that you needed to come here with a documented payment plan, not the narration, not just the listing. Yeah.
Vice Chair, looking at Annexure 3, the title of that document is written, the sentence there is enclosed therein, please find our Kajiado County Executive pending bills report for the financial year 23-24 and the payment plan for the pending bills during the year 24-25 for necessary action. Maybe you need to point us to that second part, the payment plan.
The payment plan.
Where does it begin from? And number 2, Chair, I'm looking at page 7 of that same annexure and wondering why, Governor, if you look at number 17, proposed construction and renovation works at Kimana Dispensary. If at all that work was done, was Kimana Dispensary finally done? The amount paid is 6.07 million. What is still owed is 3.9 million. The next one is model laboratory at Masimba Secondary School. Was it done? That is in 2017, 2018. I think you are still governor. A contract amount 4.9 million, paid 3.9 million, not paid 1.49 million. Why didn't you pay this really? 2018 is so long a time. It's long ago. Why can't you pay this contract 1.5 million? If that work was done well and the lab is in use. And so I think what we needed, Chair, is a payment plan that our pending bills are 1 billion. And so in this financial year, the budget would be 200 million. And this 200 million would be used to pay these pending bills. Then for the subsequent financial year, we'll maybe plan for another 200 million. And these are the pending bills that you plan to pay. But this really, unless you show us the payment plan, I don't think it's here.
Is there a payment plan here?
Chair, we have provided for, in this financial year,
Sorry, Governor, do we have, as the Senate has rightly stated, your letter says find, attach the payment plan for pending bills. That was our recommendation, that you come up with a payment plan. So do we have a payment plan before the Senate?
Chair, thank you so much. The report that is here as annex is the report that we had submitted to the control of budget, and we submitted this report together with the payment plan. What we had shared with
you are the signatory to this letter, forwarding letter?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, so what we expected, if you read our recommendation, we had a long recommendation. We would have expected you'd come to the Senate and tell us that of our 2